Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Vinodini Kapoor and I am teaching in the Faculty of Management in Chandigarh. Today, we are going to discuss about the module Security Issues under the paper Management Information System. After completing this particular module, the students will be in a position to develop an understanding of concerns that are regarding the security issues relating to management information systems. They would be in a position to understand what are the potential security issues and computer crimes, and what are different security and ethical responsibilities of the business professionals. They shall be able to understand the concept of information system security audit and get an overview of security measures for MIS systems. Data and information are critical for a company to protect. Information systems hold confidential information about the individual's taxes, financial assets, medical records, and job performance reviews. They may also contain information on corporate strategic decisions, new product development plans, and marketing strategies. Government systems may store information on weapon systems, intelligence operations, and military targets. These information assets are the knowledge bank of the organization, and the repercussions can be devastating if they are tampered, lost, destroyed, or placed in the wrong hands. The vital role of information technologies and systems don't just impact the organizational climate, but they also have an impact on the employment, individuality, working conditions, privacy, and computer crimes. Thus, while information system can be a boon, it shall also have detrimental effects on society and people in each of the areas. The digital world in which we are presently living is posing some important and ethical questions such as who knows information, particularly information about us. Who is responsible for making the information accurate? Should we set guidelines on how business organizations and business professionals should use information, computer systems, and information?
Securing data is as much essential as capturing data. When organizations accumulating enormous amount of data, it is of paramount importance to ensure end-to-end security of data and protection of information that it yields. Negligence in this regard can cause security breach as mishandling of information which is very specific to the customer. This could be related to personal information, credit or debit card details, transaction related information, and those linked to databases. Hackers tend to take advantage of a weak data encryption system and may steal credit card during a wireless transfer. This is possible if a system is not protected by any firewall. Unauthorized access to databases and servers can tempt hackers to tamper with critical information. One of the most common ways a system's security is breached is malware being downloaded by the user. In almost every case where malware is installed, the reason is because the user was tricked into downloading it. Hence, lays the inevitable need for companies to devote a lot of attention and resources to preventing the improper outflow of sensitive data that can hamper from the inadvertent or deliberate actions of insiders or cyber attackers. We will now look at the potential security issues in MIS implementations. There are two major aspects of information system security. Firstly, security of the information technology used. This refers to securing the system from malicious cyber attacks that tend to break into the system and access critical private information or gain control of the internal systems. System security means protecting information and information systems from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modification, perusal, inspection, recording, or destruction. The elements are confidentiality, possession, integrity, authenticity, availability, and utility. Security of data. It refers to ensuring the data integrity when critical issues arise, such as natural disasters, computer server malfunction, physical theft, etc. Generally, an offsite backup of data is kept for such problems. Data security involves protecting a computer from external threats from individuals outside the organization, internal threats from individuals within the organization, and from threats to hardware as well as to software. Businesses are sensitive to personal computer data and proprietary information traveling over network lines. For any individual or organization that uses computer technology, security threats are evolving and become increasingly dangerous. This makes it imperative to understand the types of computer threats that may affect a computer system or a network. Hacking. Section 66 of the IT Act 2000 defines the offense of hacking to be unauthorized access of computer systems and networks. Hacking is used to bypass security control to gain unauthorized access to a particular system. However, with the intent to cause or knowing that he is likely to cause wrongful damage or loss to the public or any person, or deletes or alters any information that resides in a computer resource or diminishes its value or utility to injuriously harm by any means, a person is committing hacking. Some of the common activities when a system is hacked are installation of programs that allow hackers to spy on the user or control their system, steal sensitive information, SQL injection, and exploiting vulnerabilities in the database software to gain access, social engineering techniques that trick users that submit IDs, passwords, etc.
Potential security issues in MIS implementation. Let's understand what is unauthorized access. Now, access as defined in the section 2 of the IT Act is gaining entry into instructing or communicating with the logical means of any kinds without the permission of either the rightful owner or the person in charge of a computer system, or say a network. The standard convention is to use a combination of a username and a password. Hackers have learned how to circumvent these controls if the user does not follow security best practices. Organizations have added the use of mobile devices such as phones to provide an extra layer of security. If Google is suspicious of the login on an account, they will ask about the login to confirm their identity using their Android powered mobile devices, or send an SMS number which should supplement the username and the password. If the company does not have enough resources to implement extra security like Google, they can use techniques. This technique can include by asking questions to users during sign up, such as what town up in they are from, the name of their first pet, etc. If the person provides accurate answers to these questions, then access is granted into the system. Packet sniffing. Now, this is a technology that is used by hackers to intercept and decrypt the data packets flowing on a computer network. Data travels in the form of packets on networks, and these packets are also referred to as datagrams of various sizes depending on the network bandwidth as well as the amount of data being carried in the packet in the measures of bytes. Each packet has an identification label which is called the header. Now the header carries information of the source, the destination, the protocol, the size of the packet, the total number of packets in sequence, and the unique number of the packet. Tempest attack. The word tempest stands for Transient Electromagnetic Pulse Emulating Standard. Tempest, it is the ability to monitor electromagnetic emission from computers in order to reconstruct the data. Now this allows remote monitoring of network cables or remotely viewing monitors. Certain fonts remove the high frequency information and severely reduce the ability to remotely view text on the screen.
Password cracking. This refers to decrypting a password or bypassing a protection scheme that may break into a password. A password is a type of authentication key or a secret word or phrase that a user must know in order to gain access to a system. To crack a password means to decrypt a password or bypass a protection scheme. Buffer overflow, buffer overrun, input overflow, and unchecked buffer overflow is the most common way of breaking into a computer. It involves input of access data into a computer. The access data overflows into other areas of the computer's memory. This allows the hacker to run executable code along with the input, thus enabling the hacker to break into the computer.
Phishing involves setting up fake websites or sending email or text messages that shall look like those of the legitimate business users for confidential personal data. The message instructs recipients to update or confirm records by providing social security numbers, bank and credit card information, and other confidential data that either by responding to the email messages or by entering information at a bogus website or by calling a telephone number. eBay, PayPal, Amazon, Walmart, and a variety of banks are among those who are the top spoofed companies. Viruses. A computer virus can also damage by destroying or altering data on a computer. Hackers traditionally did not write computer viruses because of lack of control over the virus. The very nature of a virus is that it is a self-replicating and self-propagating program, and once released, it propagates on its own. Viruses require some human intervention to spread, such as sending the infected file to another user or simply opening an email attachment to trigger the propagation. Some examples of damaging computer viruses are Monkey, Chernobyl, and Code Red. The computer virus known as Monkey does not let the Windows operating system run, thus causing the hard drive disk to look as if it is not working properly. Code Red is another computer virus that slows down the internet and other computer processes. This computer virus is often spread as a worm in an attachment to an email, and then it will hook itself to other computers once the email is sent, thus creating a very damaging chain reaction.
Spamming. Spamming can be defined as the practice of sending unsolicited email and other electronic communication. Spamming has become such a threatening problem with information systems because it is one of the cheapest and the easiest methods to abuse a computer system. The spammers who send out all of these emails are only charged a few cents to send out the unsolicited emails to users who have not requested the information. There are laws prohibiting the use of spamming to abuse a computer system, but spammers rarely get punished since the laws are hardly enforced. We'll now look at security and ethical responsibility of business professionals. Business and IT activities involve many ethical considerations. Basic principles of technology and business ethics can serve as guidelines for business professionals when dealing with ethical business issues that may arise in the widespread use of information technology in business and society. When large amounts of data are stored in electronic form, they are vulnerable to many more kinds of threats that when they existed in the manual form. Through communication networks, information systems in different locations are interconnected. The potential for unauthorized access, abuse, or fraud is not limited to a single location but can occur at any access point in the network. One of the most important responsibilities of the management of a company is to ensure that the security and the quality of IT enabled business activities, security management tools, and policies can ensure that the accuracy, the integrity, and safety of the information systems and resources of a company and thus minimizing errors, fraud, and security losses in the business activities. The use of encryption of confidential business data, firewalls, email monitoring, antivirus software, security codes, backup files, security monitors, biometric security measures, computer failure controls, fault tolerance, disaster recovery, information system, and security audits of business systems are among the various measures to ensure security. Firewalls prevent unauthorized users from accessing private networks. It is a combination of hardware and software that control the flow of incoming and outgoing network traffic. The firewall acts as a gatekeeper who examines each user's credentials before access is granted to a network. The firewall identifies names, the IP address, applications, and other characteristics of the incoming traffic. It checks this information against the access rules that have been programmed into the system by the network administrator. The firewall prevents unauthorized communication into and out of the network. Intrusion detection systems feature full-time monitoring tools placed at the most vulnerable points or the red hotspots or corporate networks to detect and deter intruders continually. The system generates an alarm in its event of some suspicious or anomalous event. Scanning software looks for patterns that are indicative of known methods of computer attacks, such as bad passwords, checks to see if important files have been removed or modified, and sends warnings of vandalism or system administration errors.
We now discuss the concept of auditing. An information technology audit is a process of collecting and evaluating evidences of an organization's information systems, practices, and operations. The evaluation of obtained evidence determines if the information system are safeguarding assets, maintaining data integrity, and obtaining effectively and efficiently to achieve the organization's goals and objectives. Now, they are also referred to as automated data processing audits or computer audits. Primarily, function of an IT audit is to evaluate the system's efficiency and security protocols, to evaluate the organization's ability to protect its information assets and properly dispense information to authorized parties. The focus of this process is to determine risks relevant to information assets and in assessing controls to reduce or mitigate these risks. Its agenda of the IT audit answers the following questions. Firstly, availability. Will the organization's computer system be available for the business all the times whenever required? Secondly, confidentiality. Will the information in the system be disclosed to only authorized users who need access to it? And thirdly, integrity. Will the information provided by the system always be accurate, reliable, and timely?
Now look at what are the different types of information technology audit. Various authorities have created different taxonomies to distinguish the various types of IT audit. Technological Innovation Process Audit. The aim of this is to construct a risk profile for existing and new projects. The audit shall assess the length and depth of the company's experience in the chosen technologies and its presence in relevant markets, the organization of each project, and the structure of the portion of the industry that deals with this particular project or product. Innovative Comparison Audit. Conducting an analysis of the innovative ability of the company being audited in comparison to its competitors. This requires examination of companies' research and development facilities as well as track record in actually producing new products. The Technological Position Audit. It refers to the reviews the technologies that the business currently has and that it needs to adapt to. Technologies are characterized as being the base or the key or the pacing or emerging technologies. Further, a spectrum of IT audit also covers system and applications. It is an audit to verify that the system and the applications are appropriate and efficient and adequately controlled to ensure valid, reliable, timely, and secure input, processing, and output at all levels of the system activity. Information processing facilities. An audit to verify that the processing facility is controlled to ensure timely, accurate, and efficient processing of applications under normal and potentially disruptive conditions. System development is an audit to verify the system under development meet the objectives of the organization and to ensure that the systems are developed in accordance with the generally accepted standards for system development. Management of IT and enterprise architecture. Audit to verify IT management has developed an organizational structure and procedures to ensure a controlled and efficient environment for information processing. Client server telecommunication, intranets, and extranets. It is an audit to verify that controls are in place on the client, computer receiving services, server, and on the network connecting client and servers. Information System Security Auditing. IS security auditing involves providing independent evaluation of an organization's policies, procedures, standards, measures, and practices for safeguarding electronic information from loss, damage, unintended disclosure, or denial of availability. The broader scope of work includes the assessment of general and application controls. The current state of technology requires audit steps that relate to testing control of access paths resulting for the connectivity of local area networks, wide area networks, intranet, internet, etc. in the IT environment. IS security audit can be performed in engagements where the specific audit objective is to evaluate security. The audit objectives are much broader, but evaluating security is a necessary subset. The potential security objective for an IS security audit are to support financial statement audit, such as assessing IS security controls. This assessment may affect the nature and extent of financial audit steps to be performed, as well as provide timely support for needed improvements in computer related controls. Support for performance audits, such as assessing how well an information system protects the integrity and reliability of data and the effect of this level of protection on program performance. To supplement IT audits by assessing the effectiveness of security within the context of a general or application specific control audit. To provide independent system security audit so that the risks are clearly identified and can be addressed. To support investigative or forensic audits by identifying unauthorized access to manipulation of sensitive data. To provide an auditor's perspective on IS security during system development so that controls can be appropriately designed into the system. The organization's objectives for developing an IS audit capability may combine the above or may vary from them. Now, students, we look at what can be different security measures for the MIS systems. Guaranteeing effective information security requires the prevention of unauthorized individuals or systems from accessing the information available. It is very essential to maintain and assure the accuracy and consistency of data over its entire life cycle, ensuring that the computing systems, the security controls that are used to protect it, and the communication channels that are used to access it function correctly all the time, thus making information available in all situations. It is imperative to maintain data log for transactions, communications for maintaining backup security and data integrity. It is essential to maintain integrity of a transaction by validating that both the parties involved are genuine, by incorporating authentication features such as digital signatures, ensuring that once a transaction has taken place, none of the parties can deny it, either having received a transaction or having set a transaction. Now, this is called non repudiation. In the event of non occurrence of a transaction, it is essential for a proper reconciliation process to take place with acknowledgement of the settlement. Safeguarding data and communication stored and shared in the network systems. Organizations can improve their security by simply observing fundamental strategies such as using only licensed copies of software which are unlikely to have viruses installed on them, and by limiting access to computers and files on those computers. Just as physical files have limited access points, so data files should also be limited to those particular individuals who have been a business reason for viewing the files. Passwords and access codes provide rudimentary security at each level. Information security is important in proportion to an organization's dependence on information technology. When an organization's information is exposed to risk, the use of information security technology, however, deals with only a small fraction of the problem of information risk.
Okay, students, we'll now summarize what we have learned in this module. With greater power comes great responsibility. Information systems bring new opportunities and advantages of how they do business. They also introduce issues that can negatively affect society. The most important condition for sustainability of information system is the ability to safeguard of sorts of electronic transactions that occur. Lack of security is the single biggest obstacle in the growth of e-commerce. Unless an electronic transaction is secure, it is difficult to determine its authenticity. The users will be hesitant to send confidential information over the net. For many individuals or organizations, this relies on computer technology. Security threats are evolving and becoming increasingly dangerous. Computer users are involved at an arms race with hackers and virus writers. This makes it imperative to understand the types of security issues that may affect a computer system or a network of computers. Thank you.